My name is the Yaovi Atohoun. So before I put my head of staff, I just learned that even myself or anyone in this room, we can have dots, our last name or our first name as a TLD. That is very interesting. And also from the previous session, even if I'm not a technical person, I have some money. So I think what I understand is that even I'm not technical, the implementation plan is putting things in way so that, and also what you mentioned is that we may have also some lower money, like what you need to be part of this program. So this is very interesting. I don't think that it is only for technical people. And this ICANN Day is not only for technical people. So we should go back home and share the message for this next round so that, again, we are not late. And what is good is that there's enough time in the planning process so that we can be informed. And like, my language is French. I hope that I also have the information in French, as you mentioned. I think you mentioned that you publish on script. Okay, so Bob is bringing me to the next session, which is about international domain names. If you can have the slide of this one, the objective is how to make our community also part of the, or how can it help to have a multilingual internet. And today is already possible to have a content in Chinese, for example, using a domain name in ASCII. We can have a content in Ethiopic script where you have a domain name .et, for example, for Ethiopia. So to come to the environment again, we started the first presentation by hearing about IP addresses and domain names. And this topic is more about the domain names. The universal acceptance is about domain name. So anytime you hear in our community, in the ecosystem, we mention universal acceptance, even if we don't add of domain names. So we should keep in mind that it's related to domain names, the top level domain name particularly. Because today we have a guideline to allow people who are running ASCII TLDs to have international domain names at the second level. Like in Senegal, for example, if I have .sn, like my top level domain name, I can have cafe with accent for the French, .sn. So we have implementation guide already available when we talk about these domains. But this one is about a top level domain, the international domain name. So this slide is just mentioning what Yazid already said, that we have a link between the number and the names by the domain name system. And again, also from one of the previous presentation, it is about the mission of ICANN, because we want to have each community member being able to use the internet as he can. So this is also part of the ICANN mission. So when we mention, anytime we use IDN, ISDN, internationalized domain names, international domain names. So you can see here where you have the label in red is COM, it's ASCII. Z is in ASCII. Africa, Africa is in ASCII. Even if people speak French, Afrique is also ASCII. So all these are ASCII. So, but when we say cafe, for example, cafe, we are going now to the Latin script, Cafe, if the accents. So we are going now to the Latin script. So the ASCII domain label is what we have for most of the TLDs before 2012 round. We just heard about the next round coming on, and we had the round in 2012. So we have many ASCII top level domain till 2012. So what is important to note anytime we are talking about this international domain name is most about the top level domain. For people writing from left to the right, it is the last one, the top level domain. So you see COM is ASCII, and then you can have a length of character from letter from A to Z. And we have also a length, so technical people are most interested by that one, but we just know that we can have this. So for ASCII. So again, the machines are talking, but we have also people using the internet. This is why it's very important to consider all the communities, because in Africa, for example, you have more than 3,000 languages. I'm not a language specialist, but we have more, I think so. But each language is part of a script. Like you have the Arabic language, part of the Arabic script. Where we have Swahili in many African countries. So Swahili is part of the Latin script. We have, like in Rwanda, Rwanda is part of Latin script. We have Yoruba in Nigeria. It is part of the Latin script. We have Ewe in Ghana. It's part of the Latin script. So here, ICANN is working with many script community to help these communities to define rules. ICANN is not the one defining the rule. ICANN is just helping this community. So an example is that in Ethiopia, where they have their own script in Ethiopia, so they came together, language specialists, users, computer scientists, many people, they came together to define some rules, like which character or which code to use when we want to write our domain name in Ethiopic. So which character can we use? So it is not ICANN to do that, and ICANN is counting on the community. ICANN did provide some tools for the community after the preliminary work to come to a document that can be used for the technical people, so that each community can use his own script or character to write the domain name. So we have many communities now working, and you see in Africa, you have many countries using the Latin script. So again, what you see here, I'm sure it's Arabic. You can correct me. So, but I'm thinking it's Arabic. Is it Arabic? Oh, so people are not sleeping. So what do we have here? Which language? Who can tell me? Okay, the person who will tell me will read something during the break. So what I want to mention just is that you see now in some language scripts, people are reading from right or writing from right to left. So the top level domain name is on the left. So what this work is about is also to allow this community to use their own characters to write the domain name. So because they can have an ASCII character, an ASCII top level domain name, but use the content in the language. But this here, it's not just the content. So these people can use their character to do everything. It is very important, because I know that many countries, we are now in Africa working on our local languages to have people literate in our local languages. You can see people, they can speak French, English, and then people are making effort now in the countries to have the local languages people can do. So this work can benefit maybe in 50 years or 100 years, but we have to contribute from now. Maybe 50 years too much, maybe in 3 years, we don't know how fast some committees will move. So again, you have these international domain names. What is important is that you have no more the ASCII characters. So you can have now .cafe, cafe with accents. So you have now accented character at the top level domain. So, but to do that, technical people need the community to tell them which character to use. So this is why we have also what we call various generation panel. We call the generation, the panel will generate the label for each script. So we have various label generation panel for the rules that are important for the rule zone. So you can see we have also the Arabic panel. They have concluded their work a long time ago. And then we have also the Latin script panel, completed the work. We have the Ethiopic script panel. So we have various panel, and this work is done by the community. Again, if you are a language specialist, or even if you are not a language specialist, you can go back to the work of this panel. They have a community wiki. Just search for the panel, the community wiki panel. You can go there. And if you see there is a character, a very important character in your language, so they are missing in what we call the maximum starting repertoire. So we have something like that, MSR. So you can raise that to the panel. So we can still contribute to this panel. And in Africa, we have also some countries today where they have the country top level domain using the ASCII character. But in addition to that, they have also the top level domain in their own script. So you see some countries in Africa, for example, where they have the top level domain in ASCII, but they have also the top level domain in the character. So one facility they can do is to have their domain name directly in both, completely in on their own languages. So we have 62 CC TLDs using international domain names. This is just an example. And now the concept of universal acceptance is also from there. The concept of universal acceptance, because of two things. So we were used to 3 characters top level domain name, like .org, .com. For the generic one, .net, we were used to this one before the 2012 rounds. So after the 2012 rounds, we have new extension. Even the .africa is more than 3 character. .africa is more than 3 character. Joburg is more than 3 character. Now we have longer domain names. Even if they are in ASCII character, they are longer. So that is one issue. So what we want in the universal acceptance of domain name and email is all domain and email addresses should be working in all software in application. So for example, today, someone using an email address in Arabic, completely in Arabic, can send you an email in English. So if your system is not universal acceptance ready, you will not receive this email. Even if the content is in English, because of the fact that the person is just using the email address in Arabic, you will not be able to receive. The person can send an email in Portuguese. The content is in Portuguese. Because of the fact that the person is using an email address in other script that ASCII, so your system, if your system is not ready, you will not receive this email address. So that is one issue. So you can see we have longer domain names today. The complete list on ICANN website, we have .engineering today. So if you are doing engineering business, so instead of, even if you can have .za, you can have .co.za, you can have .africa, and then you can have .engineering. So you should get all this to be safe, because someone can take your brand or your name and get .engineering or something. So you can take those of them. And Lucky mentioned yesterday, you just talk to technical people. Don't say I have already this extension. You can add more. You can add more extension. And it is very important. So we have today longer extensions. And then also we have people using languages where they read from right to left, and then you are using domain name on this. So again, you have also some different email addresses. So what we note in the email address is the character @ And then you can see in some email addresses, you have ASCII at the left, you have a Unicode on the left, and then you have a mix sometimes, ASCII, Unicode. But today, all the system we are using should be able to accept these domain names. They should validate them, they should process them, they should display. So we should pass the message. If you're in government today, I know all the countries in our region, we have governmental portals, and sometimes we want people to do submissions. So we want also sometimes people not necessarily from the country to do submission. So our system should be able to receive all this extension. This is why the principle, even if we have a database in our system, our database should be able to store this content, even if they are not in our script. They should store them, and then to display them in our screen, they should display exactly the domain name that is involved. So today, we want to be sure that we have a choice for consumer, and it also multilingual internet is very important. So we have only more than a third of the world population using the Latin alphabet. So I mentioned that COM is Latin, but we have many people today using older scripts in their daily work they are doing. So we are doing a study regularly. Today, we mentioned also that the community is playing a very important role in the ICANN ecosystem. Okay, you can go back to our booth there. We have a flyer mentioning again the various group in the community, or you can go to the ICANN website. We call them the supporting organization, the advisory committees. But in addition to that, we have very other working groups contributing to the ICANN work. And then one group today important in this area is what we call the Universal Acceptance Steering Group, UASG. So you can be also an ambassador of USG. So we have people who have time to talk about universal acceptance, to train people, and then we have one ambassador in the room. Mark also is UN ambassador. So these people, they have time. We have people from other countries. If you go to the list, you see many UN ambassadors from Africa. So what they do generally, they talk to government, they talk to business entities, they talk to end users so that everyone is aware. So it's not a question to wait to do that. We should do that today, because even if you are not a computer or specialist engineer, we know on our mobile phone, sometimes to time, we have to do update on our mobile phone sometimes, software update. Even so, we just ask someone to do it for us. So it is also very important. So from the studies we are doing till 2012, you see that we are very low. So if everything is Arabic, for example, so the email address, we have only less than 20% acceptance. So that is also an issue. And if you go ASCII at the left and ASCII dot the new, which is short also, it is better. But so meaning that there's a long work to do, and the community is contributing to ICANN work to have the statistic. So again, we have EAI email address internationalization support across email servers. So if you have your entities, your organization, your technical people, they are using different platforms. So you just need to talk to them so that they can check. They can tell you if the system is working. So we have, as mentioned, we have many group working, or many people that can be considered or should be considered. So we have the technology enablers they are very important. We have the technology developer. People are coding, so they are also it is important for them to note that people they are very brand. They are coding, but they don't know too much about domain names. So or even they don't know about the universal the new round or the extension or the size of opportunities, the number of domain name extension we have today. So they need to be aware. So even they are technical people, even you are not technical people, you can tell them there's more than 1,300 new top-level domain names today. So email software and service providers also, they are also important. The government policymakers is very important. So if I'm the government, so people are working on our system, our governmental portal, they should be aware of this universal acceptance issue, because if you want people to make submission, you have someone a good submission from an Arabic country. This person use an email address in Arabic to even send me the total proposal is in English, but he used an email address in Arabic. So if my portal is not ready, so it will not be accepting what is coming from these people. And academia, we know that they are playing a very important role. So we think that they should be also teaching this concept in the universities. So I can also offer, as an organization, is taking some steps to be fully universal acceptance ready. So if you have a machine, you are connected. So I just want you to tap on your phone, uasg.tech. If you can tap that on your phone now, if someone can tap uasg.tech on his phone, so and then the system will ask me something. Can someone tap on his phone uasg.tech in the browser? If someone has received the website, the person can tell me. Who can type usd.tech? You have your phone or your computer, just tap usd.tech and tell me if you have the browser, and then I'll tell you what to do. Who has it? Who has a new website? usd.tech. Someone has it? uasd.tech. uasd.tech. So the internet is not working for some people. Someone has it? No. Oh, okay. So if someone has it, you find somewhere on that website, enter valid email address on the page. You have it. So enter valid email address. Enter an email address somewhere. Where you see enter valid email address. I'm just doing a test with you because there is a tool that everyone can use to see if your system is universal acceptance ready. Even if you are not a technical people, now you'll go back, you'll tell your technical guy there is something you need to do on our system. So has someone got this page? So tap your email address and click on check address. Click on check address and you tell me the result. Click on check address and you go to the microphone if you can. You tell me the result. You share the results with me. Who has the result? You can go to the microphone and share the results with us. Who can do that? Who has the result? Yeah, please. You have a result? Oh, it's slow. Okay, it's slow. Who has the result? Oh, it's slow. Okay, it's coming. Are you using? We have two. I think we have two connection. One for the hotel, one for AIS. Still slow. Someone has a response. I just want someone to share the response with us. Who has a response? No response. Okay, but maybe we'll get a response. We have, okay, anyway, I can go through the principle again. You share this website with people when you go back home, usd.tech. But in the meantime, if before I finish, someone has a response, you can just raise your hand and you share the result with us so that we move from there. So the point is that this address is very important. It's a community work with ICANN so that people can check their email system. So you can get various type of responses when you check the email address. It will say EAI not supported. It may say that. It may say EAI supported. It may say server not declared. So you can get different type of responses. So depending on the response, if it say EAI supported, it's in green. So you go and check into your system person so that you are ready. You can receive an email from international addresses. So now what ICANN is doing with US in the community is not just the email system, but also the website to make everything ready. So as I mentioned, we need to raise awareness. We need to share the information with people because we may lose communication if our system is not ready. We will lose a lot of information. So we need to have you. We have an activity every year now. We started this year. We call it Universal Acceptance Day. Universal Acceptance Day. So be watching information from ICANN website. When the time is ready, we'll share information about the Universal Acceptance Days. So during this day, you can volunteer to have people in a room and provide training to them so that they can make their system ready. We have a lot of tools available on USD website, which can help you as technical person to train people and then how they can make their system ready. So how to get involved? If you want to be an ambassador also, you can send an email to uaprogram@icann.org. So we have also some useful links on the document. The organizer will share with them. So I want to stop there, and I think we can take some 2 or 3 questions before the end of the session. So any question in the room or from the chat room? We are here to take them. Any question? So how can we know that? I think we should know if our system is ready before leaving this room. So it is very important. So uasg.tech. So keep this address in mind, uasg.tech. So if he's saying not supported, talk to the person administrating your email system. And I recommend you use our email of the organization or prop domain. Use those emails to test them. So again, I could not see any question from the room. Do we have a question from the from online participants? So no questions. So I may assume that everyone's system is ready, but the connection is low. The time we still have 3 minutes. If someone has an answer to share with me, so I think, is it not coming? Still not coming, the test? So the system is down. Oh, someone with a question. Maybe you can share with me your answer. Someone has an answer? Oh, okay. You can go to the microphone and share with us your answer. You can go with him. So those who have answer, we still have 5 minutes. You can go and share also your answer. Please go to the microphone. Those who have answers, please, your answer, please. After you, which email? Is it your organization email or which one?
Yeah, it's my organization email.
Your email, your organization email.
Yeah.
Okay, there is the response.
The response is EAI is supported.
Is supported.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
you. So the next person. Oh, I get someone here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You entered Jerry at dns.net.za. EAI is supported.
Supported. Are you using public? I don't want to make publicity for someone, but this is your system email, your own domain. Your own domain. Your own domain you are using for the email. Is your own domain email link to your own domain? Okay, congratulations. Oh, Bob also.
Jerry has scared me now.
Yeah.
So my personal email is not declared by the server.
But declared by the server. So go and talk to a good case also. You may get this response, not declared by server. So what you can do, you can work with email UASG people, or you can send an email to one of the address, so we can provide support what can do. So you can take also one answer from there. Okay. Yeah.
EAI support not declared by server.
EAI not support not declared by server. So thank you so much. So you talk to your technical person, let him know that there is something about universal acceptance. So he can go to the website and he can get information how to fix that. Thank you very much. Mark, you have the microphone. One of the universal ambassador. He want to contribute, not to ask me a question. Yes.
It works. No, AEI supported properly. That's what I expect. I know the techie, he's a really good techie that did this, so no problems.
Thank you very much. So I think I want to hand over to, we have more questions? No more question. Okay, so we want to hand over to the organizers. We want to thank you very much. A round of applause for all of you for our sessions.
Thank you very much. The next session will start at 4 o'clock after a break. What time is it now? 3:29.